Here's the Stinky Popcorn Boys.
We watch movies and eat popcorn. And you're stinky.
Hello. We are the Stinky Popcorn Boys, just some boys talking about movies and how they made us feel. I am Patrick Basquill, and I am the mongoose in the garbage.
I'm John Gilardi, and I'm part walrus.
Yeah, it's true.
We're animals.
We're animals today, baby.
What movie is this?
Today,
Ace Ventura?
yeah, I
No.
know. I wonder. Well, yeah, I wonder if that would be helpful. You would have to really have just watched the movie
to understand
those two references.
But you also read the title. You know what you came here for at this point.
You know what you're here for. And also, it's our 50th episode. We really only have one choice. So we're going to be talking about something cute and sweet with the number of episodes that we've done so far in the title, starring nicer guy Adam Sandler, Drew Barrymore being pretty sweet and sassy, and Sean Astin as a pretty grounded joke character.
Yeah.
And a bunch of other Adam Sandler stalwarts, including Rob Schneider and Brownface.
Is that his name?
That's Rob Schneider right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the tan guy, is that his name?
That's Rob Schneider.
No, but doing Brownface.
Doing Brownface.
Yeah,
his name isn't Brownface.
Oh.
That would be a...
Well, I thought you were talking about I thought you were listing his friends that are always in his movies, and I thought you were
Yeah.
listing the super tan dude.
Oh.
Like, I was like, oh, is that his name?
The guy. Oh, the guy who does a voice like this?
Yeah, he's in everything. He's
I know.
super fucking
But that's
tan.
the only thing he's only in Adam Sandler movies.
Yeah.
So we're talking about 50 First Dates. Synopsize this sweet little movie for me.
Yeah, you got Henry Roth, a.k.a. Adam Sandler. Cool dude, mega player. He lives in Hawaii, so he's always hitting on all the kind of transient, local... the travelers.
Transient, too, makes it sound like he's hitting on, homeless women, coming through town.
No, yeah. So travelers,
Yeah.
tourists, stuff like that. And so because they're traveling and whatnot, he always has an easy out, and he always has he's an undercover agent or he's whatever.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of his deal. He's a vet. He works at a aquarium, and one day he happens upon a diner, sees a girl that's really cute, and he falls in love with her, and it goes against his code because she's a local.
She's a local.
And, lo and behold, she has short-term memory loss, so he has to win her heart every single day, a.k.a. 50 First Dates.
Yeah. 50 First Kisses.
Yep.
Yeah. So this is the first time I'd seen this movie.
Really, ever?
Yeah, first time ever.
Oh, shit.
I think I have a limited Adam Sandler, which I don't know if it's true, but I feel like I haven't seen some of the more important ones. What have you seen? I've seen Waterboy. I've seen Happy Gilmore.
So those are two important ones.
I would say, but I haven't seen Billy Madison.
Oh, okay. Well, I think that trifecta is probably the essential. Sandler.
But I've seen Little Nicky. I haven't seen Punch Drunk Love. I've seen Spanglish.
Yep. Click.
I don't know if
Mr. Deeds.
I've seen Mr. Deeds. I have seen bits and pieces of, was it Big Daddy?
Yep.
Man, he's had some pretty medium big hits.
Yeah. I mean, he's given money was given money by Netflix.
They signed him again to another deal. Those
I don't know who's coming out for these films, and I'll say that I watched all these films and I have great memories and nostalgia for all of them, all the ones mentioned.
But they're all the same movie.
They're all the same movie, but I think it's perfect for that tweeny age where you're like,
yeah.
It's not. It's like a step above Scary Movie in terms of shitty comedy that you can get without being too.
But I'll say,
mature,
I haven't seen there's the Netflix ones I haven't. I don't think I've seen any of the Netflix ones.
Oh, they're absolute trash.
Well, they're schlocking. He's having a good time with
Even
them.
Pixels is bad, trash.
Well, Pixels is famously very bad. That wasn't part of the Netflix deal.
No,
though.
But that's I think that was one of the last ones before.
Yeah. I've seen Uncut Gems too.
I wouldn't count those. That or Punch Drunk Love are their own thing.
Yeah. But I think that's one of the things that separates him from, I think, this movie is a pretty good example of, he's pretty ridiculous and, some of the humor is, it's, on the line. But I think for the most part, Adam Sandler is like clearly not a bad dude and has like a pretty good idea of what makes a good story.
Well, apparently he's a dickhead.
Oh.
One of my counselors for a few years when I was a kid in elementary school, she went to school with him because he's from New Hampshire. As a Maine. She said he's a total fucking dickhead.
But in high school or like as a famous dude?
In high school. So who knows? And I mean,
but I think a lot of people would say I was a dickhead in high school.
True. And she was from what I remember, a pretty beautiful woman. So who knows? Maybe he burned her or something. I don't know.
Or she burned him and he was a dickhead to her.
That too. Yeah.
Because that like that's one of the things is like he's a regular looking dude who's funny and does voices. And I've always struggled for a long time, like being like, why is Adam Sandler funny?
You struggled with this?
Yeah, because it's like Anger Management is another movie that I've seen with Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
We'll just talk about all the Adam Sandler movies that we've seen. But it's like he has this sort of like easy way. Even as you said that your counselor said that he was a dickhead, it's like he has this easy way.
Still likable.
Yeah, he's like of being likable and being ridiculous while also pointing out the ridiculousness of it and like letting you in on the ridiculousness of it.
Yeah.
While pushing the boundaries of like the weirdness, you know, which is something that's like you don't see a whole lot. Like that's like a Jim like he's like everyday Jim Carrey, where Jim Carrey is just like completely embodies and like is like all the way inside of
He's
this.
a comic as an artist, or an artist as a comic, whatever. Like
yeah. Well, Adam Sandler did stand up too.
Yeah. Well, I'm not necessarily in the terms of their history in terms of comedy, but I, like from what you're saying, like the embodiment, like I see Adam Sandler as a comic who takes advantage of his comics stuff for money, where obviously Jim Carrey is making a lot of money, but I think he's a lot more looking for certain fulfillment. He wants to explore different roles of comedy, tons of drama here and there, kid stuff, whatever.
And Adam Sandler is clearly just like, I'll do Uncut Gems or I'll do Punch Drunk Love every once in a while.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I want to go on vacation with my friends.
Yeah.
Grown Ups 2 is one of the I walked out of Grown Ups.
Yeah.
I went and saw Grown Ups and I walked out of, that's the only movie I've ever walked out of theaters.
I didn't mind Grown Ups because it just called back to a lot of like lake time nostalgia for me, I guess. But Grown Ups 2, that was the wake up. I mean, that was my like, okay, I'm done with him.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna go and see any like, because I would say I would consider myself an Adam Sandler fan for a while there. I pretty much had seen everything he was in.
I had great times with Happy Gilmore and Waterboy.
Yeah,
that was I watched those when I was supposed to watch those, 11 and 12 years old.
Yeah,
that's when that hits the hardest. You're like, yeah, dude.
Yeah. Yep.
But
and I guess like at that like, so the beginning, how he's this cool playboy, as a younger person, maybe you live vicariously through that or like project and hope that that's you one day.
Yeah.
But then as maybe a more of an adult, you just roll your eyes at that because Adam Sandler is just. You just see Adam Sandler and you see him writing himself as this dope dude.
Yeah.
Which is just like you can't get past that at a certain point, for me at least.
I think in this movie it plays the best though, where he does seem kind of like suave and confident. He probably looks the most normal he looks. Like I feel like.
Yeah.
He's an attractive dude who plays to his strengths. But that's what it feels like it plays here. He's like, I'm a moderately attractive dude who does stuff with animals, and I got a boat, and I don't know. I'm kind of cool with it, and people are desperate, having a great time.
Yeah.
I think that there's some movies where it's like, all right, Adam, how are you gonna one movie he has Jennifer Aniston. It's like, how is this?
Yeah.
How did that happen?
Well, I think one comparison is always like how Seth Rogen writes himself with the hot girls or whatever. And the only egregious example of that I remember is Knocked Up, and the whole point of that is that it was a mistake.
Yeah.
And this woman and him have to reconcile that. So, but it's still a thing that it's just people. It's just those people that want to be haters. I guess essentially like that are. I guess what is it, bearish or bullish? When you want to short someone.
Bear, I think.
Yeah,
I think
whatever.
bull market is good because it's charging ahead.
Yeah,
and the bear market is
so
like
the equivalent of that, like the people who hate on Tesla for stocks.
Yeah,
For some reason, there's like these people that detract Seth Rogen, and that's always something they come to is that he writes himself with beautiful women or something. And I
don't know if he does though.
And I don't think he does, but I think Adam Sandler is way more of that.
Does, but I also think that there's like Adam Sandler has like a charm about him where it's like he feels. I think that's what I'm coming to is like he feels genuine even when he's like ridiculous. Like a lot of his characters feel, not the more ridiculous ones, but like their reactions are, like this guy feels cool. The
tattoo dude?
No. The fucking
Henry Roth.
Henry Roth.
Yeah.
Like he's like, all right, he's potential toxic masculinity and like, kind of like going through like the weird like man boyish thing in the beginning.
Yeah.
That's not really anything. That's one of the things I like about this movie is basically my point is that he has charm.
Yeah.
But like sort of that's never, I love that his past is never brought up. Like it never, because you could see in a different draft of the script where somehow
she finds out something, or that
she finds out something, but it's like her not having a memory is
conflict enough.
Is a pretty big conflict as it is.
Yeah,
and it really plays well as sort of just like a nice story.
Yeah, it's looked on pretty well by people generally.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pretty nostalgic movie. I think Drew Barrymore being cute carries a lot too, or at least that kind of nostalgia. People look back and like, yeah, that movie's pretty good, or that was a good Adam Sandler movie anyone could enjoy.
Yeah.
So I mean, this definitely is like a little bright star that anyone in theory could enjoy. I can see why people wouldn't. There's definitely some things in here that haven't aged well. I mean, Rob Schneider's brown face. The
like maybe transphobic.
Yeah, there's definitely some transphobic stuff in there.
Yeah, there's definitely like I don't know if it's just like that's like a weird line where it's like where he refers to his assistant lady. He's like, "Oh, she's a man." And it seems they're on the same page. Yeah, so it's like yes, on its face it's definitely like
he knows she knows she's a woman.
So
but I think he's being funny, like in air quotes.
Yeah.
Like he's like, I don't know, to the walrus or whatever.
Yeah.
Like to him, like her kind of being a character with a weird haircut and
has some
an interesting voice,
like traditionally feminine or masculine features or something like that.
So he's making fun of it. It's like a wink to the
it's
to
more,
the audience,
it's less,
I guess.
I feel like it's probably less transphobic. Again, we're probably not the people to speak on this, but I feel like it's less transphobic than it is like just like gender. Shaming someone for how they look.
Yeah.
Which is, people don't like it.
Yeah, because I don't think they're transgender.
Yeah.
I just think
it's kind of like
a gender thing. I mean, it is a gender thing. But yeah,
but that's something that's just like sort of like on the line. I was reading because I pulled some reviews for it, and it's like I don't like, a lot of people are like, oh, sophomoric humor, and it's like I don't really see it like as far as like some of the other.
No, as far as Adam Sandler, it is here, and it's particular here in the intro.
But it's so soft.
Yeah, like I think the sophomoric stuff is in the beginning. I didn't laugh much at the beginning, like his whole like shtick about being the agent and that dialogue and him like faking the call sign.
It was like, ha, nice.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I laughed at the grandma lady that he hooked up with. I was like, funny. And then the Chinese lady saying that he railed her like a mallet or whatever. Just there's a lot of like funny juxtaposition of like highs and lows. Comparing like young and beautiful, old and not beautiful, I guess.
And then there was the one dude in there.
Yeah.
That was his friend.
Yeah. So that was just funny. Like just a good variation of humor, and as probably offensive Rob Schneider's character was, I liked his kids and that dynamic of his kids are super competent, but he's not.
Yeah. I also liked and was like, I liked that his kids were always there.
Yeah.
for some reason.
Yeah.
Like his kids are just always there. And I was like, why is this man's kids always there? And it's one of those things that happens where it's like coming from like sort of the sketch world where it's just like something that is like an enhancement of reality. And that's like, I feel like a lot of what Adam Sandler does with his stuff, where it's like sort of grounded, but also unrealistic, but more so like an enhancement of reality. Because, if that character is in real life, maybe his kids are always calling. He always has to run off with his kids or whatever like that. So it feels like his kids are always there.
What's his wife even doing?
Yeah, what is it? She's working because he's not.
He's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and in terms of, I don't know where to jump. Like, do we talk about the 50 First Dates stuff, make him fall in love with her, the comedy, like the comedy, like funny things that we did and didn't like? I guess where do you want to go first?
Yeah. Man. I think first off, it's like, because I was just wondering if this was real, and I also just like felt bad for the dad and the brother for not having autonomy to live their own lives.
Yeah. I think that's part of like Adam Sandler. He's like, wait a minute, this isn't sustainable for them, for her.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm going to try something wild. So I guess to summarize, I mean, sure, you've all seen this, but she has a new memory every day. So essentially she resets every single day, and every day she thinks it's the day before or the day of her accident.
October 13th. She thinks it's October 13th.
She thinks it's a Sunday. So on Sunday she gets breakfast at the diner, and that Sunday happened to be her dad's birthday. So they have this. She always thinks it's this routine of going to the diner, dad's birthday, or whatever, and then so they have traditions with pineapple cake, and there's a Vikings game on, and so they're constantly putting the Vikings game on. They're constantly giving her the gift of painting the shed, which is a gift to the dad. Like, hey, I love your art, honey. Paint this for me. And they constantly reset. They have newspapers of that Sunday in October. So they're constantly refreshing this, and then so Adam Sandler sees this. He's like, "This is insane."
Yeah.
And he makes a video, like, "Hey, this is your life. The Red Sox won the World Series. Just kidding." They did though that year. Because this movie came out in 2004. Yeah, so that was 2003 when they lost in the ALCS or whatever.
Yeah, because that was the Aaron Boone home run.
Yeah.
That's right.
that was a time to be alive, I'll tell you. In New England, when the Red Sox broke the curse, it was.
I bet you.
It was pretty sick. I can't.
What was it like?
It was. I mean, right with the year before too, at the heartbreak and everything. It was fun.
And then coming back from down 3-0.
Yeah, everyone was involved.
Oh my gosh.
I went to Fenway for a tour, and then I was standing outside the Yankees entrance and saw all the Yankees comes in. We're all just booing them and stuff.
Yeah.
I used to remember the names of those players. The catcher at the time for sure.
Jorge Posada.
Yeah, the one that pees on his hands. Or puts his hands in pee buckets or something.
Yeah, Moises Alou was also supposed to have peed on his hands.
Whatever helps you.
It is a thing. I don't know.
Yeah, but
I don't know why it's a thing. I don't pee on my hands.
No. Well, so seeing that brought me back. Unrelated to anything, I guess, just a fun anecdote to share. But
I think that, I mean, everything feels like relatively tame. Like, I don't know. It's so.
I mean, it's on Hawaii. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's like that lifestyle. It's just about locals.
I thought it was like kind of. It was like nice to see. It was nice to see him struggle with. It was nice to see him struggle with like the moral ramifications of like being with this not like brain damaged person who's like otherwise normal.
Yeah.
But it was where he like he doesn't go through like big like, you know, Paul Thomas Anderson where he's like struggling with it for like moments on end, but like it was nice to see that. And I think that's one of the things in this whole movie where it's like this movie is like for me was like surprisingly wholesome and emotional and like just nice.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
the fact that the dad is not like a hard ass with it, I think, is one of the things. The fact that the dad is a hard ass, and that even like I love Sean Astin in this movie. Sean Astin.
I think you get the idea that she's loved.
Yeah, she's loved,
and you see the love that the brother and dad give her, and then so when you see Adam Sandler's, you're like, okay, that's similar and vibing with what they're doing.
Yeah.
So they do love. He does
and the
love
fact
her.
that the fact that the conflict is still like her memory rather than like the dad thwarting him.
Yeah,
because that could very easily be
because at
like
first he does, and then he's like, wait a minute.
But he doesn't like necessarily like thwart him to be like, I'm gonna blow up your plan. He's like, hey, this is my daughter. I don't necessarily know if I'm chill with you fucking with this, okay? If you have bad intentions, please fuck off.
Yeah.
You know?
But then they learn that she only sings her parents' song, which is a Beach Boys song, and she only sings it, and it's a happy thing. And she only sings it on the day that she's met him. Mm-hmm. So the dad's like, there's something going on.
There's something there.
He's like, he kind of gives him blessing at that point.
Because I think it's really nice that it's like his dad is like, man, I just really want my daughter to be chill, though.
Yeah.
Like, I want her to find whatever sort of semblance of happiness she can have. And if this is something that brings her joy, you know. And, like, I want to talk about Sean Astin's character a little bit.
Oh, I loved his character. It's so good.
Being a joke character as this roided up bodybuilder brother, constantly working out with a lisp.
Yep.
He's surprisingly grounded and like has real emotions and has real like reactions and honesty with it.
Oh, he's aged the best in terms of like his comedy is like timeless, I guess.
Yeah.
Most of it is in this movie, but
it's
like him by and large, that whole character and the jokes around him, they're great. Like I love when he brings the like Adam Sandler shipping off on a voyage. And he brings him a box of Spam and Reese's, and he's like, here you go, Adam. Or here you go, Henry. And he's like, you can have it. He's like, okay, thanks. And he takes it and just walks away. It's such a stupid small joke.
He's like, I like Reese's. I like Spam.
Yeah.
And he's like, can I have it? And
yeah, that's it.
And Adam Sandler's like, I mean, yeah, I guess so.
He takes it back.
He's like, okay.
It's so dumb, but it's so good.
It's so dumb. And then him even being like, because it could be,
and it's an obnoxiously large box of Spam and Reese's too.
Yeah, and there's a lot of stuff that could like take away from the niceness of it, where it's like he's like, hey Doc, asking for a friend. They've recently started doing steroids, and they have started to have wet dreams. What would you suggest? And it's just like, well,
and they shit on him.
Yeah, but not in like a, but not in a put like they're shitting on him, being like, hey,
because he's being a tool bag.
Please, like, stop doing steroids.
Yeah,
go out and go on a date.
Yep.
That's it. That's the right there. That's that's your sort of solution there, bud.
Well, then he finds a girlfriend with the assistant,
the Svetlana lady or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's just yeah, I mean, it's just an incredibly wholesome, nice movie. But apparently, because I looked it up, because I was like, is this possible in real life?
The memory
thing. Apparently, Memento is more accurate in its representation of short-term memory loss, or what is it called? Oh,
it's like a name of a doctor.
Abstergo or something like that. Amnesia. It's like Aberrato. I'm not gonna look it up again.
Was it? We did Memento for this podcast.
We did,
right?
Memento, yeah.
Well, was it Carrie-Anne Moss?
Carrie-Anne Moss is in that.
Has sex with him even though she knows she hates him.
Yeah.
Is because she's committing to the bit, or she just doesn't give a fuck? I don't know.
Well, I don't know if it's ever like that they had sex, and she take off their clothes and get into bed, and he makes her think. Yeah. She makes him think that they had sex.
That's probably what it is then.
Because and that's one of the things that they were like, well, if she slept, it would help restore her memory, because that's something that is helpful.
That if she sleeps?
Sleeping is helpful for restoring memory and like restoring memory stuff or whatever. It just would never be as clean. That was something that, again, is a silly little Adam Sandler movie, but I was like, why does it have to be the 13th? I don't know.
13th?
The 13th of October. Why does it have to be Sunday the 13th of October?
Well, for the movie, it's...
Well, like just
it has to be in a weekend, so it'll be for story structure. I guess.
Yeah, I mean I understand that, but I'm just like for her, it's like, man, wouldn't she?
That was the day of the accident, so I guess she's just reliving
but
that
what
day.
she has like why does the day need to be the same day? Can't she have autonomy within the day where it's like, I mean, and we see that she does, which is why I don't know. It does. I mean, it doesn't bother me. I was just something that I was thinking about.
She has only formed memories up to then, so I guess when she wakes up, all she knows is that. Maybe.
Yeah.
But I feel like that would deteriorate over time. The strength of that memory,
Yeah.
of the day before the day.
Like
it
would just kind of fade into before.
And it wouldn't be a bad thing. It would just be what is going on?
Yeah.
I mean, it probably could be a bad thing because you definitely there's when she's an old lady. I don't know. I feel like
what the time is like what constitutes, because it's not like memories or files that you like. Oh, this is where I can stop taking files.
Yeah.
It's like it would sort of like it's more like paint where they like sort of like blend together. Mm-hmm. Even as our own memory now, it's like.
And then your memories are memories of memories.
Yeah, and then sometimes your memories are, like, they're memories of how people told you the memory was.
Yeah.
Memory's crazy.
Like something that police officers always learn.
Yeah.
Is how people remember things with all the reports. Well,
and it's like the whole like people see things because you can influence memory so easily. Mm-hmm. And that's one of the things, like in The Little Things, when we watched The Little Things and she saw Jared Leto and they're like, well, of course she's gonna point him out because she saw him. She saw us bringing him in cuffs. Yeah. So she's gonna think it's that guy. Because you can influence that sort of thing.
Yeah. I think that fast forward to the end, how she lives her they get married, they have a kid. She's on the boat with the adventure with him. I like that the dad was there, and it was I did
like that dad was there too.
How he was in the back too, and it was like.
He's like, I'm chilling. I'm comfortable here. I like it.
And he needs to be there.
Yeah.
So I don't know I think he knew it. I mean, it's his granddaughter or whatever. And
I mean,
he's a fisherman anyways, and it's his new son-in-law that he probably likes.
Yeah.
But
they're both boat dudes.
Yeah. It's just interesting, the commitment to it.
I mean, it's just nice.
Liability.
That's like the whole, because it's like your brain forms these. Because that would be the thing that would be like where what constitutes like a new memory. Because it's like you go a year, and when do you begin to lay down new tracks of what constitutes your long-term memory? And again, this is a movie, so they always go back to October 12th because that makes more like we don't want to have a long-term like a long 30-minute discussion. Be like, well, this is how memory receptors work, But it also is like. Well, Dad's there because Dad's her longest connection with her real life, and it's like sort of like a grounding force,
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense, and I think it's just sweet to see. I guess,
yeah,
the links and that she's having a functional life. It's a total fairy tale, and in terms of that being actually plausible, but it is like okay, I feel good. I guess.
Yeah. I liked it. I mean, for a movie that was, and I think it was I think it was an appropriate length too, where it was like it never lingered. It didn't, or like the pacing was really good. Like even as we sort of go into like him being like, I kind of need to like check in with this girl as we fast forward to we're gonna go back to sort of the middle where he's like. It's been the second day where he's like realized that she doesn't remember him, and he's like had his conversation with Rob Schneider and Brownface where it's like he's like, well, listen, man, you gotta like where Rob Schneider again, even in Brownface playing this ridiculous character, was like, listen, man, you gotta give yourself a chance to love somebody, because if you keep loving these people who are just gonna run away, even if you say that's what you want, you gotta give yourself a chance to do that. And if this girl is your perfect opportunity to have that like first day over and over again,
Okay, I guess it's the best of both worlds. He can be his player, and he can love someone.
But I think I don't know. I think of all the Like this
It's
is
weird, but it works for the character.
It works for the character, I think, too. Is like there's you see real growth as like his sort of like plan begins to succeed, and he's like, shit, damn, I do love this girl. Like maybe initially this was just something I needed to kind of like accomplish.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, damn, I do love this girl, and like I want to see the best of her, and she brings out the best in me, because it's like I don't know, I'm on my toes or whatever, and it's just it's just nice because you see growth from the character without necessarily having it be like in the beginning. He's like in another good movie to compare this to is, you remember Good Luck Chuck?
Yep. No, yeah.
Where it's like kind
vibes of that.
Definitely
Yeah.
Good Luck Chuck vibes, and I think it's just because of the penguin, you know.
Is there a penguin in both movies?
Yeah, because he's a water trainer, or no, she's a water trainer person.
Okay.
Water trainer person.
Water train. Waterbender?
Yeah, she's a waterbender. But like in that movie, he's like kind of a scumbag, and then he realizes that all the women he sleeps with then get married with immediately after him, and so then like he's like, oh my gosh, he gets like, he's like does his like good deed or whatever.
Yeah.
And then
Which is him having sex with beautiful women.
Yeah.
And
so that they
he
can get
hates his
married.
life.
And
It's such a weird concept.
It was a weird, but then this, I don't know, it feels like this like sort of character development growth feels so much more like smooth, even as it's weird, like for the Adam Sandler character.
Yeah, I think it, like we've said many times before, it works. The character,
but doesn't work.
Is I don't know, does it work, or is the movie good at pulling you in and pulling you on the ride and making you believe it works, or making you believe this is okay? You know,
is it okay?
I mean, if she falls in love with him a lot,
can she ever really fall in love with him?
I don't know,
because she's never. You're not like, because that's one of the things that I was thinking about too.
I think maybe that
for Adam Sandler, can Adam Sandler fall in love with her? Because he's never able to really, you know, in a relationship you have like those building blocks, and you're like, all right, here's the base level. We talk about all this stuff. I think you're cute. You think I'm cute. And then we build to the next level, and then we build to the next level, and then blah, blah, blah. We go up and up and up. And it's like, can Adam Sandler get to the point where he actually truly loves her? Or does he just love the process of trying to make her love him every day?
I don't know, because it's like, how deep does he know her?
Yeah.
Like, how, because, you know, it stands to reason that some of the time, or maybe most of the time, who knows, that she grasps the situation and trusts this man and trusts her father, and I got a kid here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm in. I'll live this day.
Ooh, what if she got Alzheimer's, dude?
I mean, I think she's gonna. I think, like, in the real world,
yeah.
I think she would have accelerated
brain deterioration.
Yeah, at some level. But you know, like, yeah, exactly. Like,
because I was thinking,
it takes a while to really get to know someone, and you can hit it off. You have chemistry, and you're like, I really like them, and this is good. We get along, and that can continue, and that could go, like, you know, in a perfect world, it does continue. But even in those perfect worlds, you learn things, and
yeah,
you know, you learn that everyone isn't perfect. Even the person that's perfect for you isn't perfect. And does Adam Sandler ever learn that? You know, does he ever? That's just an interesting. It doesn't matter for this movie, but it is an interesting concept that you brought up.
Yeah,
it's interesting for sure.
Because I was thinking about that as they're having that thing where they're like, "Oh, let's first kiss" or whatever. First kiss. They had that little montage where it's like, "Oh, first kiss, oh, first kiss," and I was like, "Man, that would." For me personally, that would get like old.
Yeah.
Where it's like, man, yeah, you said the same cute thing to me like 23 times. I don't know if, like, much less than even his like sort of on the line about his blue balls joke.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I don't know, dude. She's got brain damage. I don't know if this is something that you need to. But they played it off. It was in smoothened, I would say. It wasn't like.
I think they addressed the sex issue.
Yeah.
Well enough, or it was smooth enough, or maybe you forgot for a second she had brain damage, or this was her first day knowing the guy, technically. but it wasn't alarming, I guess.
Yeah.
Just recalling right now.
Yeah, I don't think it was, and I think too, it's like with the video, with the stuff,
and it also set up the gag where that she wakes up next to him and she doesn't know who he is, so we got to see that angle.
Yeah.
So it almost needed to happen in terms of maybe a certain storytelling beat.
Yeah.
Of what happens in that scenario, because it's a relationship and it's a relationship with this gimmick, and so naturally it's a situational comedy, so you're gonna see it in different situations, and that was gonna happen, you know.
We could talk about this too, because it's actively happening on the screen behind us. But I don't think it's actually happening behind us. I think it happens later. But when she has the bad day and figures the shit out, you know, whenever she is like, she's getting her ticket. And the guy's like, "No, your car's out of date. Dad, the mongoose is in the garbage again."
Is that what just happened?
That's what just happened. I fucking love that line. It's so fucking, so fucking good.
So you're saying the day she has a bad day?
But the day that she has a bad day is really interesting, and I wasn't sure that we were gonna get to that point. Like, I think that's something is.
I mean, the story hits all the beats it needs to hit for the scenario it gives us.
Yeah.
And it hits it all at really good pacing.
Yeah.
It's not too long. You know, like, the movie does a lot of things well, and I think that's why it's been liked the way it's been liked, and it's not timeless, but it holds up just enough.
I think it's still sweet, regardless of some of the sort of like vaguely off-color jokes. I think the biggest sort of thing is having Rob Schneider I think that's the biggest thing. Like, I think even like, because I think that the gender phobic or whatever the weird gender stuff is with his coworker.
Yeah.
I don't think that it's ever like he's shaming her because of her looks, but he's not like, he doesn't. I don't know. I think if anything that I would say would be like,
it's just a joke at her
they just
expense.
feel like friends.
Yeah.
You know, they like that would be like the level of friendship that they have.
It's a person he thinks is gross, and he makes jokes at her expense, basically.
Yeah. But she seems like she's in on. I don't know. That's hard for me to say because it's the thing. But I don't know. And maybe it's because I'm a man that people are like, hey, you're a man. You know, and no one's like, that's not necessarily true. I have long hair. People are like, excuse me, ma'am. But they're never like, oh, you're a gross woman. Actually, that's also not true. Someone said I was a gross lesbian with a mustache when I was in college.
Oh, wow.
So a gross fat lesbian with a mustache, too.
Jeez. They watched a little bit too much 50 First Dates.
But I don't know. It seems more innocuous to me than the thing. So I just feel like this movie is nice.
I don't think it's like cancel-ish level of things.
Though I will say this, like the car thing is
it's funny as a bit and montage, but it is that probably crosses the most.
It's a little serial killery.
Yeah,
because that's something that serial killers would do.
But it does give you two good gags with the beating up Rob Schneider.
Yep.
Like I love the way she yells at him. Like she's all cute and she's like, "Go away!" or whatever. Yeah. He's running away with his stupid little small pants and his butt crack.
And then I love this bit where she's like, "My grandfather died trying to jumpstart a car," and what sells it is like Adam Sandler's like, "Oh fuck, I really fucked up." And then they do have good chemistry.
Yeah, and I think they're friends.
I haven't seen The Wedding Singer either.
I haven't seen that, and I knew they did. I think one of the Netflix movies they did together too.
I think it was before Netflix.
Okay, so they
blended. Or was that Jennifer Aniston?
I don't know. I know they've done something recent.
You're not up on fucking Adam Sandler's.
I told you I checked out after Grown Ups too.
I have no desire to see any of the Netflix movies. I'm sure that they are exactly what they need to be, and I'm sure that people like them. But I have no desire to spend
You don't want to, unless you want to see Taylor Lautner act like an idiot. It might be worth it.
Yeah, but I feel like I've seen all of his. That's not true. I watched Murder Mystery. That was one with Jennifer Aniston on the boat.
Was it all right?
That was pretty good. You know, but I still feel like it's like, all all right, cool. I've seen this. But I just think for the most part, this movie is just like nice.
Yeah.
Like this movie's just nice. There's nothing that's like that drops it for me.
No. It's a fun little ride. It's a sweet movie. It's about love.
It's really emotionally impactful too, because everybody like, again, for like sort of the ridiculousness of stuff, it's incredibly, everybody loves everybody.
Yeah.
It's incredibly emotionally impactful. I
think for me, what this movie, because it's a well-loved movie by a lot of people, and it's, at this point 15, closer to 20 years old, has iconic moments. And I love the Beach Boys song when they have this song and they love that. It's like established that this is a very important song, and Adam Sandler's going off, and when he doesn't get the box of Spam and Reese's, but he gets a little present. He opens it up on the ship as he's voyaging out, and it's the Beach Boys song CD. And he's like, "You sick fuck! Why would you do this to me?" And then hard cut
Why would he do this to me?
Hard cut to him singing the song with the soundtrack, like crying his eyes out, driving the boat, and it's so iconic, and I love it.
There was another moment that literally that fucking got me so good. It might have been the Sheen Astin. I mean, the Dad, the mongoose got in the garbage again. I don't know why that line is so fucking funny to me.
Because he's in the background. It's just
he's just in the background, and he's so fucking genuine. He's like, "Dad, the mongoose got in the garbage again." Yeah. And it's just like, fuck. Oh, it was like Dan Aykroyd being in it too.
Oh, there's a joke where he's like, "I wish my wife
had this so she'd forget what I said."
It's like a call her a bitch or something.
Yeah, something like that.
It's like the scene should be over, but it's Dan Aykroyd talking about how he wishes his wife had brain damage so he could talk shit about her.
Yeah,
and he gets really vulgar with it too. So
it's like, whoa. But also,
it's a better version of the Icelandic Singers.
Also, them just being.
If you know, you know.
It's also better. Another one that I really fucking liked was, note the intense overreaction. Not the intense overreaction. That's the roids. And he's like, "Oh, the protein shake." I don't know. I just fucking love Sean Astin in this movie.
It's so good.
And then
we'll never get this character again from him, though.
Yeah.
Sad.
Well, he doesn't get enough work.
No.
I think when I watch this movie, it's like, man, he does not get enough work.
No.
Either that or he turns down a lot of stuff and was like, "Yeah, sure, I'll go to Hawaii, fucking shoot for 2 months."
Oh, yeah.
You know?
I think so.
But it's just like, I honestly just don't think he gets enough work.
No.
He's and he didn't get enough work then when he was like
young.
When he was like young, or like he could be anywhere from 24.
Well, this is definitely after Lord of the Rings too.
Yeah. But he could be anywhere from 24 to like 34.
Yeah.
And I would buy it.
Yeah.
And I would cast the shit out of him. And I don't even know what, but his face is little. I fucking love it. I'm about it.
Cast him as a walk-on football player.
Yeah,
with a learning disability.
Yeah, he has a learning disability.
Yeah, I think he's dyslexic.
I haven't seen Rudy.
Oh, yeah. The whole thing is, he's an underdog. He shouldn't really be he doesn't have the grades. I think he's dyslexic or something. His learning disability, and then he's a walk-on the team. Like it's like you shouldn't be here, but you are. That's why it's like inspiring.
Okay.
I've only seen it once or once and a half, a very long time ago. But
I'm
I forgot
generally
about Rudy.
disappointed by sports movies.
As like that they're not out these days, or as a
No,
concept?
just like in general, I'm just disappointed. I don't know. I have complex feelings on sports movies because like I like sports, but sports movies aren't satisfying because I don't see the sports part of it
enough. I think Friday Night Lights is good at that.
Because that's one of the things that's like...
Space Jam's good at that.
Yeah. Space Jam's good at that. But it's like, because there's so much drama that happens in the game that's important in the game.
I think the MMA movie with Joel Edgerton and Tom Hardy is pretty good at that too.
I saw that in theaters. I don't know. I just like, there's such a... Because obviously you can't just show, like.
I think sports are romanticized well enough and stuff.
I'm not saying that they're not romanticized.
I mean, Miracle?
I haven't seen Miracle.
Oh, we should do that.
Okay.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
It has again iconic moments when Kurt Russell he wins and he walks off and he just fist pumping like his team celebrates they won against the Soviets and it's not like a spoiler but he walks in the tunnel and he's like fist pumping and he sits down he's crying alone. It's just like so many people copied like they're like they won and accomplished something and they're like I'm gonna do that thing he did because that's what I feel like right now.
Yeah.
It's just I don't know. Yeah, we should watch Miracle.
I'm down.
Do you believe in miracles? Yes. That movie, it's nice to have movies that make you feel patriotic these days.
Yeah. I think that, I don't know, because there's such because also, I definitely, like, get fired up by sports movies. I don't know. I can't say that I dislike them because I definitely, but I wouldn't, they're not, they leave me...
How did we get on this topic?
I don't remember.
Oh, Rudy.
Rudy, because Sheena Astin fucking kills it in 51st Dates.
Yeah. Naturally.
But, yeah, sports movies, they get me fired up. I'm like, fuck yeah, we did the thing. But also, they're like, I didn't see man, I could really tell that they're not playing real basketball.
Yeah.
Or like, man, that man's got a funky wind-up.
Mm-hmm.
Duke, it's all right.
That's why the boxing movies, they can get into that better because it's just two guys.
Yeah.
And
it's also...
I get taken out of football movies when the extras are just like frumpy dudes on the side, or the sideline is frumpy dudes.
Or where the extras are like, or like football players and the main dude who's good is like a skinny armed guy who's supposed to be like a running back, and it's like they would fucking get you.
Yeah, I mean Blue Mountain State did okay with it, but it was a show, so they had recurring people.
That was also a comedy though.
Yeah,
where it's like there's more leeway in comedies.
Yeah, or the kicker who smells his ball sack, or he rubs his hand on his balls and smells it before he kicks because it's a good luck charm. Have you seen Blue Mountain State?
I've seen some episodes of it.
Oh, I love it. Thad Castle. The master becomes the blaster.
Yeah. I've seen some of it.
So
51st Dates.
Yeah.
I think we could take this opportunity to kind of like, we got 50 episodes talking about some movies
that we've talked about.
Yeah, we just talked about movies. What's your favorite movie that we've talked about? Is there anything new that you've like discovered over these past 50 movies?
I not discovered, but affirmed I do like talking about movies, and I think this whole podcast came out of you, me, and Christian talking, like we'd meet up for stuff, and we would just have good conversations about movies, like, we should record this.
Yeah.
And I think this has been fun, and, obviously we don't have sponsors, and the viewership isn't crazy, and that doesn't change anything for me because this is just fun to do.
Yeah.
And, I guess this has been affirming of that.
Yeah. I think one of the things that I've sort of discovered is like I like late 80s, early 90s action movies a lot more than I thought I did.
Yeah.
I think like with Die Hard and Face Off, I'm like, oh shit. And like I've seen some other ones where I'm like, okay, yeah, maybe I should explore this a little bit more as a genre.
I'll jump to things I've been watching.
Yeah, sure.
Just go right off of that because I 100% agree. Like 80s and 90s movies are hitting so well with me, and one I'm mentioning is a 70s movie, but Taxi Driver.
Yeah,
I watched, didn't love it, but I liked it better than Joker because it was what the Joker was trying to be.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, cool, okay, everything feels right now. Whatever.
That's what they were trying. Like that's why I fucking hate Joker.
Yeah, it made so many things make sense to me now. But this movie more addresses that references. I watched Heat, and holy shit,
fuck yeah,
that movie's amazing.
Yeah,
like it's spectacle, but it's also super grounded.
Yeah,
like it, and that's because shit in real life is crazy and not cool, but like it wild,
Yeah,
and like I don't know, like shooting out of a windshield just creates holes in the windshield.
Yeah,
they don't kick down the wind; they're just fucking dealing with. I don't know, just like little things like that.
That fucking the highway, like the downtown LA, like the shootout sequence is so fucking good.
It's amazing.
Speaking of that, again, not a 90s movie, but I recently watched Collateral which is the Jamie Foxx Tom Cruise movie.
Watch that pretty. Is that the the crimes before they happen?
No, that is
Minority Report.
Minority Report, yeah.
Oh.
But this is also a Michael Mann movie. I'm pretty sure he was Michael Mann.
Okay.
The director of it.
Yeah, I want to go back and watch. I want to watch a lot of the De Niro films too. I missed.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's one. There's a movie that's coming out that stars Casey. That's coming out with starring Casey Affleck with, not Jamie Dornan, but the guy who plays
Armie Hammer.
No, not Armie Hammer.
Wait, or Jamie Dornan.
No, it's the guy who plays the paraplegic in that movie Me Before You. He's also in The Hunger Games. Sam Claflin. There's no reason for you to know that name.
No.
I was in my brain and I needed to get it out. But Sam Claflin plays like, and it's just essentially I watched the trailer of the movie and I was like, this is just Cape Fear. This is just Cape Fear again.
Yeah.
What? Why? Cape Fear is a pretty good movie, but it's also like.
Are you like referencing like the Joker, Taxi Driver kind of relation?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's I don't know. That's
the thing is
Joker tried so hard.
Anywhere 13 to 21-year-old me, especially even that includes my time in film school, would be like, I don't watch Taxi Driver. That movie's old. You know. But then you have Joker made, and it tricks people to watch in that story. You know. So it's interesting now where
essentially in the same time period too.
Yeah, same aesthetic too with like Dirty City.
Yeah,
it's the same movie.
It's like he did a Quentin Tarantino, but then didn't really up the ante.
Todd Phillips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just put it in the DC universe.
Yeah. It makes
Scott, Joaquin Phoenix, and Oscar.
Yeah, I mean
he did a good job in the movie. I'm not saying he didn't do a good job in the movie, but it's like so tired.
Yeah, I don't like the movie. It does feel tired in a weird way now that I know the context.
But it's also.
But I love that it introduces the Joker's origin story as an idea, not a man. I think that's so cool because then we still don't have an origin story. We do have that man, but that man is obviously, ironically, a nobody, which was his whole issue.
Yeah, and I think too. The Joker just bothers me because it's like, so you just watched Taxi Driver and it's a long movie, right?
Just under 2 hours.
Okay, but it's like, and there's like those long, all those shots have meaning. There's
oh yeah, it's all Scorsese.
It all has meaning. All of it has
all over
is
the screen.
Fucking stuff. But like in like. The long takes that they did of Joaquin Phoenix, and I'm sorry that we got here.
Walking Phoenix.
Yeah, that we got over with Joaquin Phoenix. Is they're just like, ooh, he's acting. We're going to let him act. It's going to be a long take, and we're just going to go for it. It's going to be one take. He's just going to do some crazy acting guy stuff.
Well, it's like you have Martin Sheen doing the Apocalypse Now. The hotel room, just being like, that happens. So now all these contemporary dudes are like, I need to fucking just go. Let me go. I'm an artist, and and then what is driving it, you know? Because it's a combination of things, not just the performer. I think that's what you're touching on.
Yeah,
like it was just like,
it needs to have purpose. You can't just leave it be a long take because it's a long take. Like there's so many times throughout that movie where we just stay with Arthur, where it's like, look, and I know the purpose is like, look. This is a pretty shot, and also he's acting in it, and like look how alone he is.
Yeah, it's meant to pull you in and drone on. Like I get it, it does have purpose, but I think think
it's fake purpose.
Well, I think the issue is with the Joker character in particular. It's supposed to be a clinic of acting or something with the Joker. Like it's turned into that because of Heath Ledger, and it was super on display with Jared Leto, and then Jared Leto again. Trying to masterclass acting crazy, and then the whole like Joaquin Phoenix did great, but it's still trying to be a masterclass of acting. Like he's doing a great job, and it's not taking me out of the movie. But maybe this is just a stigma that I have. But that's how I view the Joker character now. And then there's tons of movies now where, you know, it's like, oh my God, what's his name? Abraham Lincoln. He's actually a really good actor.
Oh, Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yeah, but like like it just like
we need to have the best actor ever play the Joker.
It just becomes such a like the myth around the actor supersedes everything, and then you watch it, and I think I honestly do think I think Heath Ledger, that whole situation is pretty pivotal in
like the way that
film
method
history.
acting is,
and just acting and reception. Like I think that set a certain standard of like legend because he died. That was hard to.
Well, and there was like he went to a hotel room and he like did like notes and stuff like that. But that was his prep for the character. When he was on set, he was like, I'm on set, I'm acting. Mm-hmm. And like he has this, because that's the thing. It's like you have a little notebook that you have that like was like, all right, it's time for me to work. It's time for me to do my scenes. Let me like, and like, because that's a lot of the thing. Like when you're acting is you have to finding the stuff, and the preparation is the thing. It's not necessarily like when you like, nobody can take being somebody else. Doesn't matter who you are for like months on end, and the months that it would take, like you have to find that, and it's like there's other stuff that's connected to his death and to like his like there's other stuff. It's not the Joker. It's like, and it's also not his preparation. It's like him as a person was having other stuff that he wasn't able to deal with the same way. And
I mean, it cheapens him as the person and his autonomy as a person. I would say like, oh, he's just this character or just the director's. I don't know. It's weird.
I hear you,
but I think it's a big deal, and I think especially for our generation of people, how we understand performers and their whatever, like, because we're at that age where that Batman big deal, and it's so it leaves the impression. And I think
tired
the
of
Joker is a
superhero
thing.
Movies. I think that's like, I love them and I will continue to watch them. And yes, this is 51st Dates. We're talking about 51st Dates.
We're talking about
stuff.
We're talking about past podcasts. I will say I agree with you that I'm tired of Joker Batman, but I do want to see it one more time where they work together a little bit more. And I want to see that.
I mean, I'll always watch it.
Yeah.
I'll always watch it. I'm just like, I think I was, I was taught, because they have that TV show Clarice. That's there's a TV show with Clarice with Clarice Starling from The Silence of the Lambs.
Oh yeah.
And I haven't seen the show, so obviously I have no idea. But I'm like, why? Like. And I also understand why, because people are going to tune into the show about Clarice because it's a known property, and people
Same
are just
thing
like,
with Bates Motel.
But it's just like, oh my God, why can't it just be a new cool story on its own?
It's the same dilemma with the Disney rides.
Yeah,
everything is a property, or they're tying in old rides to the new properties instead of like there's not that many.
Like the Guardians of the Galaxy instead of the Tower of the Terror.
Yeah, or the like rebranding everything.
So that it's connected to something where it's like, ooh, I'm a part of this thing, or I'm doing this thing.
Which I think the Imagineers have shown a great track record of genuinely improving the rides, and but it definitely takes away, I think, from Walt's ultimate vision, which is you're supposed to be lost in a world. Yeah. And you don't have that when you're walking through what's supposed to be Hollywood Boulevard, or whatever it is, and you see a fucking Xandar building,
Yeah.
But yeah, so I've kind of shared what I've been watching. What have you been watching?
Collateral. I watched Collateral. I really liked that. It was really nice to see Tom Cruise. It was like a fun movie.
It's like
it was just nice to see Tom Cruise.
like he's a friend. Get to see each other.
Yeah, often. I don't get to see him very often. No, but it was nice to see Tom Cruise be a bad guy.
Oh, okay. I need to watch that then.
And it was nice to see. It was just a fun movie. Okay. What else have I been watching?
Falcon Winter Soldier.
I did. I'm
halfway through
I'm
that.
Caught up.
Pretty good. I'm liking it. I think. I don't hate it.
I didn't like the third episode.
Really? Interesting.
I thought it was boring.
I didn't.
Even if it was like fight heavy stuff.
I think it was boring. I'm just not super into the Flag Smashers as an antagonist.
They feel weird.
Yeah, there's something
weird. I also
weird.
Feel weird about Baron Zemo.
Yeah, and I don't want to hate John Walker, but I feel like they're building him up to be a villain of some sort.
I'm interested. I'm most interested in his story, honestly.
Yeah,
and I'm disappointed.
And you
so
get the
far.
least amount of him. At least in the third episode, you barely see him.
Yeah, I'm the most interested. I am disappointed at how, like it's so funny, all the buildup over the like, Sam Wilson, Bucky relationship, and it feels like
the relationship's in the same place it was.
Yeah.
At the end of.
But they also don't feel like they're
War?
like growing. It's weird. I don't know. I feel weird about it. I feel weird about the pacing.
We're understanding them more, and I think Sam is benefiting the most.
Yeah.
Because we're learning, that he never really got paid for all this stuff, and his family's suffering because of it, and he has a family that he's worrying about. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then the kind of the anti-military stuff, or obviously the race stuff they're bringing in there, and I think they're setting him up to be Captain America. I think.
I don't know if they are.
But I think the whole theming is like you're telling me there was a black Captain America this whole time, and they just used him as a guinea pig, or I think that was the kind of implication, or they're using him for blood or something.
Yeah.
And so I think
I'm pissed because
anger of
Bucky got his ass kicked, and I feel like he shouldn't have got his ass kicked as bad. I know that they're also super soldiers, and he was like taken by surprise.
Episode 2.
In episode 2, yeah. Also, sorry if we're doing spoilers. We're going all over the place here, talking about
Rudy
doing whatever we can, bro.
Yeah.
We're just touching it all. Here we are, just two boys talking about like whatever we can.
Yeah.
But it's like I was like, man, Bucky's supposed to be like fucking Steve Rogers would not have got his shit rocked the way that he got his shit rocked.
Well, Sharon was badass in that scene.
That was
in the
really
containers,
cool.
and I want to see that. And I also like that they're killing people in this.
Yeah.
And which I think these characters do. I don't know if Sam kills a lot in the theatrical movies, but obviously the Winter Soldier kills.
Yeah.
And I think the whole dynamic with him killing that guy he's looking over is really interesting.
It was really nice.
But I don't.
Well, not nice.
Yeah. But I don't know if they're gonna follow through with it. They probably will, but like only when it's convenient. Like it's not a through line.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I'm interested. Obviously, I'll keep watching it, but like. It doesn't feel have the same heft that WandaVision did have for me.
Really?
Like it definitely feels much more like a TV show rather than like a weird miniseries.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, I'm trying. I don't hate it. I'm not sure where
I'm
am.
not saying I hate
it.
it.
I'm not saying you are.
Don't put those words in my mouth, John.
I'm still trying to think what I feel about it, but I don't have a strong negative feeling.
Yeah, we're also only 3 episodes in. We got 3 more episodes.
Yeah.
We'll probably end up doing a pod on it once it's done.
Oh yeah, for sure. But I mean, I guess quick ranking. I think I gave it 3.
We're talking about 51st Dates now.
Yeah,
for those
51st
of you
Dates,
who've tuned out,
wrapping that up.
51st Dates.
It's
It's just such a nice movie. There's not really a whole lot to like.
It's a nice movie. I gave it 3 penguins out of 5.
Okay, nice.
3 pineapples out of 5.
All right. I'm gonna give it 3 walrus penises.
Oh yeah. Oh, they love making those jokes in this movie.
There's a lot of. I actually looked up.
Some walrus stick.
I looked up some animal penis. I was trying to like
Peni.
figure out. So I'll just give you some animal penis facts here to close it out, if that's okay.
Yeah, I think there's no better way to close episode 50 than that. The biggest is like a blue whale or something, right?
Echidnas. The biggest is a blue whale. Yeah, it has a 10-foot long penis.
Wow.
8 to 10 foot.
Wow.
And it's a foot in diameter.
Jesus Christ.
But echidnas have a 4-headed penis. And
so knuckles.
Yeah, so it has a 4-headed penis, but it only uses 2 at one time because it's like it only uses 2 at one time because female echidnas have 2-pronged vaginas. So, I mean, again, I didn't look at the diagram of it. I'm just using this based off of words.
Wow.
But echidnas have 4 penises that like essentially they rotate. So it's like they'll do the dirty with and use 2 penis heads. And then the next time they do the dirty, they'll like rotate and like use the other 2 penis heads.
Yeah, it's efficient, I guess.
I guess somehow.
I'm just thinking of knuckles.
Dolphins have prehensile penises.
What? What?
Prehensile. Like, you know how like a monkey has like control over its tail and can like move its tail around and
Ew,
like grab stuff?
Weird.
Yeah.
Oh, weird.
There's another one. There's that I thought was really funny. There is there's an animal that is reversed. So man, I gotta find out what the animal is. But the penis is reversed. Oh yeah, they're like these like flies in caves that are blind, and they have the male has a vagina that contains sperm, and the female has like a penis vagina that goes out and grabs the sperm and brings it back to it.
What? Wow, guys. 50 first dates.
That's 50 first dates. Closing it out.
As
they say in Hawaii.
Aloha? I think that's goodbye.
Aloha is goodbye and hello. Mahalo. Lilo and Stitch. Moana.
Mahana means family, and family sticks together.